Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moonriver. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. As you can see, Moonriver is sitting at $157 million market cap, and we are seeing a bit of an uptrend right now. If we go to the 7-day chart, you can see we have went up from $14-ish all the way up to $20 just earlier today on June 6th, and now we are retracing a bit. So let's jump into the daily chart and see what's going on. If we take a look at some of the support levels I gave you in our previous videos, you can see that one of those levels is $10.40. And we retested that perfectly here April 12th, and this was based on a few touches that we had back in 2022, and then of course in 2023 we got rejected from that level here in April last year. And then finally we broke above that in December 2023, and we came back down with a back test of support here in April 2024, a year later after that rejection in April 2023. And now we're building some sort of a, short-term small uptrend here. It's possible that we might lose this at some point and have a retracement back down. That's always a possibility. And what we're doing right now is we're running into this purple block as resistance. This was our support for a few months here. We kept back testing it until April. So from December 2023 until April 2024, this was our support. Then we lost it, and now we could be coming back up to retest it as resistance before we eventually come back down again. That's a very possible scenario. Of course, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin crashes tomorrow, then we're likely to see Moonriver come back down to $10, right? If Bitcoin sees a dip back down to 60,000, Moonriver could realistically come back down to $10.50, and that is going to be a really good entry point once again for everyone who's looking to get into Moonriver. Taking a look at the daily RSI, this was an optimal entry point back in April here. Ever since then, we've been moving upwards, and right now we're pretty close to the overbought. So I would not be buying any tokens as of right now. Anything above $15 is just a bit too expensive for me. But again, it all depends on your plan. It all depends on what your average buy-in price is and what your exit strategy is. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. Taking a look at the weekly, you can see we have the same Fibonacci retracement from the previous video, and you can see that we perfectly retested the 0.5 here. We dipped into the golden block, into the golden pocket, which is between the 0.618 and the 0.5 fib levels. And the 0.618 was sitting at $8.80. We didn't manage to come back down that low. However, the 0.5 was successfully retested, and that's really good for all of you who managed to enter. What's happening here is that you can see this level of resistance, right? And then we're back testing it as support here. So technically speaking, we're doing everything we need to be doing. We're building, we're building an uptrend here. So we have a low, a higher low, we have a high, and hopefully the next high is going to be higher than this high from December 2023. We can set up a short-term fib here just to kind of see what we could expect. So the 1.618 here is going to be sitting at $62.70. That would be our target, and that's within this purple block that we have above us. That's set up from $44 all the way up to $85. And that is based on these touches from 2022 from March and April. And you know, this target, obviously $62, will only be intact if we manage to break above $34. And keep in mind, Moonriver is a token that's notorious for these quick pumps. So it takes only, you know, a few minutes for this thing to get going, essentially. And if you're looking to swing trade, for example, you did have a good opportunity to swing trade here above $40, let's say. If you managed to do that, and you could have bought back in at a cheaper price, of course, there's always a risk that comes with that. So be careful, because you might sell, right? You might sell at $40 and you might think that's going to be it, but then it's going to continue pumping, and then a few days later you're sitting at $300. That is possible. That's what happened with BNB, and a lot of people sold way too early. So again, it depends on what your expectation is, what your strategy is. If you're entering for a short to mid-term trade, then there is no issues with selling at $40, because that's going to be a 135% move to the upside. Now, once we get past this purple block, we have another level here at roughly $182, which is almost a 10x from the current prices, and that would put us at a $1.5 billion market cap, which I think is a reasonable market cap for this project if we're going to be conservative by the peak of this bull market. So $180 is my conservative expectation. Of course, we can, add more levels up here. We can take a look at $244. That's another level that we have. But because of the token dilution, it's very unlikely that with the current sentiment, we're going to be able to get back up to $500. Now, if Polkadot 2.0 brings a lot more developers, a lot more volume to the Polkadot ecosystem, including projects like Moonriver and Moonbeam, then we could expect higher prices. We could expect maybe $250, maybe $300. We'll see how things go, but a $1.5 to $2 billion market cap is a pretty good expectation, a pretty conservative expectation, and a pretty realistic at that. Taking a look at the oscillators here, so the stochastic is now recovering. As you can see, we were in the oversold, and in the previous videos we talked about this being a really good buying opportunity, just like this over here was a really good buying opportunity. So you can see that back in 2023, from April all the way up until October, we had been trading below the index of 20, which meant the asset was oversold. And we briefly entered the oversold here in 2024, which provided us with another great buying opportunity. In terms of volume, it's not doing too good, right? We need to see more volume. And in terms of the MACD, let's see. So we got a bearish cross all the way back in March, which confirmed the downtrend essentially for us. Okay. So that's when we got the bearish cross, and after that we saw like a 50% dip. Now, if we are to see a bullish cross here, that's going to be a really, really good sign on the weekly. That would mean that the local bottom has been printed, and we could be expecting more upside. The RSI is starting to recover, the stochastic is starting to recover, Bitcoin is starting to recover, so we'll see if this could positively affect the price of Moonriver. And once again, if you're looking to enter, for me, this is a bit too expensive. Just a bit too expensive. Of course, you don't have to follow everything that I do or say, right? You have to do your own research, and you have to decide what to do with your money for yourself. But we do have a bit of a support trend line here. If we come back down to that, maybe enter off of that. You can also take a look at $14.80, which is the 0.382 fib here. That would be a good entry point. And then of course, if we dip back down to these lower levels here, the 0.5 and the 0.618 that's going to be a really good buying opportunity. You don't even need to open up my channel and ask me if that's a good buying opportunity. Just know that it is, because it's going to be below these lows that we had in April. And as long as we stay above this low from October 2023, which I think we will, we're set for this uptrend and for this up and coming bull market. That should be it for Moonriver. Let me know what are your expectations. Let me know what is your average buying price. I think my average buying price is somewhere around here, $7 to $6. So we're doing okay for now on Patreon with our portfolio. Of course, once the alt season comes around, it's going to be interesting to see how these altcoins play out. Not every single altcoin is going to meet your expectation. Some of them are going to do even more, but you always have to, in my opinion, have a conservative mindset so that you're never disappointed at the end, and so that you can take profits actually by the end of this bull market and not have your assets go to zero with the next bear market crash, which is the whole point of this channel, trying to help you time the market as best as you can. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and take care.